Welcome to the undocumented reasons for the mystery of the falling leaves, where hidden truths unfold like the gentle dance of autumn leaves, mysterious, beautiful, and unforgettable. If you love captivating tales and thoughtful reflections, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to join our community, and never miss a moment of magic. Let's dive in. You awaken to a soft rustling outside your window, the gentle sway of falling leaves stirred by a cool autumn breeze. The morning light filters through lace curtains, dappling your room in warm gold and shadows. But today, the usual stillness feels different, charged with a whispered invitation that pulls at your soul. You rise, heart curious yet calm, drawn to the window where the trees sway like ancient sentinels. The air is crisp with the scent of earth and faded blooms, carrying a murmur just beyond hearing a melody of secrets waiting to unfold. Stepping outside, you remove your shoes, letting your bare feet press into the rich soil of the garden, connecting you to the land beneath. A sudden flutter catches your eye. Among the branches, a single golden leaf drifts down, twirling in a slow, hypnotic dance. It lands before you, as if dropped by unseen hands to mark the start of something true and extraordinary. You reach out and gently lift it, feeling an unexpected warmth radiate through your fingers. The leaf bears faint symbols, etched as if by time itself, curves and lines that pulse with an ancient magic. You sense a story written within, a call only you can answer. Suddenly, the wind stirs stronger, wrapping around you like a cloak woven from whispered tales. The trees bend closer, their voices rising in quiet chorus, urging you to follow, to step into the forest's heart where the scribe once walked, where stories flow like rivers beneath falling leaves. With a steady breath, you take your first step beyond the garden gate and into the whispering woods, feeling the soft crunch of leaves beneath your feet. The canopy above filters sunlight like stained glass, casting shifting patterns of amber and emerald. Every sense sharpens, as if the forest itself reaches out to welcome you. A gentle path winds before you, lined with moss-covered stones and wildflowers blinking shyly in the breeze. You notice the faintest trace of footsteps ahead, delicate, almost gliding footprints that vanish and reappear like echoes of a forgotten journey. Following their lead, you feel yourself becoming part of an unfolding story, the forest's grand narrative now interlacing with your own. The whispering leaves carried the scribe's legacy, a promise of knowledge, adventure, and discovery stitched into fate by words long lost and now found again. As you delve deeper, the air grows thick with possibility, the unseen eyes of the forest watching, waiting. You, the listener and seeker, hold the key. Every breath, every step, every falling leaf is a thread woven into the tapestry of the scribe's secret. And the adventure, your adventure, has only just begun. With the early morning sun weaving warm threads of light through the towering trees, you continue along the winding path that beckons deeper into the whispering woods. The soft scent of earth and wildflowers mingles with a faint, ancient musk, as if the forest exhales secrets only the patient can hear. Your footsteps fall lightly on the carpet of moss and fallen leaves, each step drawing you closer to something unseen yet palpably near. The path begins to curve around the base of an old oak, its bark thick and splintered with age. You notice a hollow near its roots, partially concealed by twisting vines and soft moss. Something catches your eye, a faint glimmer among the shadows nestled against the tree trunk. Kneeling, you reach slowly into the hollow and pull out a fragile, leather-bound diary, its cover cracked and softened by countless years. Your fingers tremble ever so slightly as you open the diary. The pages are yellowed and brittle, edges frayed like whispers fading into time. Ink stains blot the margins in places, while other passages are faded nearly beyond recognition. Yet, the words that remain seem to pulse with a living energy, calling you to read and remember. The diary belongs to a scribe, an unnamed guardian of stories, who once lived in these woods. As you scan the delicate handwriting, a tale unfolds of a secret hidden beneath the canopy, a power woven into the very leaves that fall with silent grace each autumn. The scribe's words speak of transformations, forgotten magic, and a promise bound by ink and memory. You suddenly feel the weight of the diary in your hands, not just as an object, but as a vessel of trust. The scribe's story is no longer distant history. It is now entwined with your own journey. The leaves that fall whisper fragments of the past, urging you to piece together their mosaic, to unlock the hidden truths that have waited patiently for you. As the wind stirs again, a fresh cascade of leaves tumbles softly to the ground at your feet, as if the forest itself is reacting to your discovery. You place a gentle finger beneath one page and begin to trace the faded text, feeling the pulse of magic deepening around you. In the distance, a bird's call breaks the stillness, and you look up to see the path stretching further into shaded mysteries, folding between shadow and light. The diary will guide you, but only your courage and heart can carry the story forward. With the crumbling diary and the murmuring forest as your companions, you rise ready to walk deeper into the secrets written in falling leaves, where each step can change the tale whispered beneath the ancient canopy. The sun climbs higher, warming your skin as you tighten your grip on the fragile leather diary. Your footsteps follow the meandering trail deeper into the forest, a living labyrinth of twisted roots and dappled light filtering through ancient branches. The hum of the woods grows steady around you, birdsong, the rustle of leaves, and somewhere distant, the rush of water. Each step feels heavier with purpose. The faded words of the diary linger in your mind like a puzzle waiting to be solved, clues hidden in the poems and sketches of falling leaves and lost pages. You glance down to see leaves spiraling in slow circles, their edges curling like ancient glyphs. The forest floor seems alive with their quiet message, as if the land itself breathes stories beneath your feet. Suddenly, the trail forks. One path slopes gently upward, shaded by towering pines whose needles drip with morning dew. The other descends toward a mist-shrouded valley where ancient stones peek from wild brambles. You hesitate, aware that this choice, under the watchful canopy, could shape the path ahead in ways you cannot yet imagine. As you stand at the crossroads, a breeze stirs, carrying the faint sound of soft footsteps and murmured whispers just beyond hearing. You feel unseen eyes upon you, the forest watching, not as a place, but as a living presence. The breath of the scribe seems to brush your cheek, urging you to trust your heart. Drawing a deep breath, you step toward the upward trail, your boots pressing into soft moss. The air tastes crisp and fresh here, tinged with the scent of pine and wildflowers. Slowly, you notice the faintest sheen on the bark of the trees, markings almost invisible at first glance, carved in spirals and arcs, the language of the falling leaves, repeated in living script. As you touch the bark, warmth radiates into your hand, and your vision blurs, briefly filling with shimmering light and images of the past. A figure in a cloak, writing furiously by candlelight, leaves falling in a spiral dance, a promise sealed in ink to protect the forest's magic. When your vision fades, you find yourself standing clearer, more aware than before. As if a veil has lifted, the path ahead opens wider, inviting you to walk not just through the woods, but through the stories etched deep into the earth and air. With the diary safely stowed, you press onward, each heartbeat syncing with the rhythm of the rustling leaves above. The forest sings its timeless song, and you, a seeker, a scribe, a guardian, answer the call beneath the falling canopy. The sun, now higher in the azure sky, filters softly through the towering canopy, casting laced patches of light onto the forest floor. The whispering trees sway gently above as you clutch the fragile leather diary close to your chest. It's a talisman, both fragile and powerful, its pages filled with words that seem to ripple with hidden meaning and promise. Every step you take is deliberate, yet filled with wonder, a delicate balance between cautious curiosity and unyielding resolve. The forest around you breathes and shifts. Every leaf, every rustle, seems alive with purpose, as if the woods themselves watch you closely, waiting to see the next move. In a game old as the trees, your footsteps press softly against a bed of moss and fallen leaves, creating a rhythm that blends with the distant babbling of a brook and the hushed calls of hidden creatures. This is no ordinary walk, it feels like crossing between worlds, where the boundaries blur between past and present, reality and legend. Ahead, the path suddenly forks into two directions, each pulling at your heart in different ways. One trail ascends gently through a grove of tall pines whose needles shimmer with faint dew. The smell of pine resin is sharp and sweet in the cool morning air. The other path descends into a valley swathed in a gentle mist, where ancient standing stones peek through tangled vines and wild brambles, their silent presence hinting at forgotten histories. You hesitate. Both routes hold promise and danger. A light breeze moves the leaves overhead, carrying a faint murmur, perhaps whispers from the diary or the forest spirits themselves. The rustling trees feel like an ancient chorus, encouraging you to trust your instincts. The diary's pages, marked with cryptic symbols and half-remembered tales, seem to vibrate softly in your hands, matching the quickening beat of your heart. The decision weighs heavy. Which path holds the answers you seek? The path into the sunlit groves of towering pines, where light bounces off every needle and the air thrums with vibrant life, or the shadowed valley of mist and stone, where secrets linger, silent and waiting to be unearthed. After a deep breath, where stillness floods your senses, you choose the path upwards. You step carefully onto the bed of soft moss leading into the pine grove, feeling the pulse of quiet magic beneath your feet. The sunlight pierces the branches in golden spears, casting dynamic patterns that shift like living mosaics. The comforting scent of pine needles and damp earth envelops you, earth and sky, entwined in a timeless embrace. Walking deeper into the grove, you notice delicate carvings almost hidden on the bark of the surrounding tree spirals, arcs, and intricate lines that mimic those inscribed on the diary's pages. This is the language of falling leaves, a silent script left by those who once guarded this forest's deepest truths. You reach out, fingertips brushing one carved spiral, and a gentle warmth blooms beneath your touch. Images flash before your inner vision, ghostly scenes of a figure cloaked in midnight, hunched over an ancient desk under candlelight, furiously writing words that shimmer like living ink. You see leaves spiraling gracefully downward, weaving a protective pattern, and hear a voice whispering promises of secrecy and protection. The forest's heartbeat seems to sync with your own in that moment. The vision fades, leaving you breathless and wide-eyed. The path ahead feels clearer but no less mysterious. You tuck the diary securely in your bag, feeling its weight lessen and deepen all at once, a symbol, not just of your journey but of your evolving role as part of this sacred story. Further along the path, you come upon a small clearing where shafts of sunlight illuminate a cluster of wildflowers, violet bellflowers, white daisies, and orange foxgloves, nodding gently in the breeze. Resting among the petals, a single golden leaf circles lazily, before settling gracefully on the forest floor. You kneel to examine it, recognizing the same strange symbols etched faintly into the leaf's delicate veins, marks that matched the diary's script and the carvings on the trees. As you study the leaf, you feel a ripple through the air, a subtle shift that raises the hairs on the back of your neck. Around you, the forest seems to draw in a breath. The ground hums softly beneath your fingertips, and shadows twist playfully between the trees. You realize you are not alone. From the periphery of your vision, a figure steps forward, cloaked in earthy greens and browns. A woman emerges with hair like woven autumn leaves and eyes reflecting the colors of the forest. Her gaze is steady and knowing as she approaches without a word. She moves with the grace of one who is both of this world and apart from it, as if she embodies the forest's spirit itself. "You carry the scribe's legacy," she says softly, her voice like the rustle of dry leaves underfoot. The paths you walk are not just journeys through the forest, but journeys within a weaving of story and soul. You find your voice, eager yet cautious. "Who are you? How do you know of the scribe?" She smiles gently. "I am called the Keeper of Leaves. I guard the forest's secrets and help those chosen to carry its stories." The scribe's words are etched, not only in paper but in every falling leaf and every whispered breeze. Together, you walk a little deeper into the grove, her presence a calming light in the shifting shadows. She explains that the diary is only the beginning, a map and key to secrets that could change the fate of the forest and those who dwell beyond. The scribe wrote of a power held in balance by the leaves, a magic of transformation. But balance is fragile, easily tipped by careless hands or wandering hearts. Your journey will test your courage, your wisdom, and your trust in the forest's voice. Her words settle heavily. You realize this path will demand more than your footsteps. It will call on your very being to choose what to protect and what to let fall away. The afternoon light shifts to soft gold as you and the keeper reach the edge of the grove, where the first hints of evening stir. The forest awaits your next step, alive with voices that only you can hear. As you prepare to move on, you understand that this is no longer just a walk through ancient trees. It is a sacred pilgrimage woven from ink, leaf, and spirit. The path unfolds beneath you, inviting, challenging, and alive. As the sunlight fades from gold to soft amber, you find yourself standing at the edge of the pine grove, where the forest's breath deepens into a quiet stillness. Beyond, the path narrows, wrapped tightly by ancient trees, whose knotted branches weave into a natural archway and entrance, both daunting and inviting. An unspoken energy pulses here, like the charged pause before the first note of a symphony. Your hand tightens around the worn leather diary as you take your first cautious step forward. The air grows cooler, filled with the scent of moss, earth, and a faint trace of smoke, like a distant hearth. The whispers of the leaves soften to a near silence, and you realize that the woods themselves are holding their breath in anticipation. Suddenly, a figure materializes from the shadows beneath the arch, cloaked in shifting fabrics that shimmer like woven autumn leaves. The gatekeeper steps into view. Their face is mask-torned carvings resembling intertwining branches, and fluttering wings obscure all but a pair of piercing ancient eyes. You approach the threshold. The gatekeeper's voice resonates in the stillness, equal parts challenge and invitation. Beyond this gate lies the heart of the forest's secrets, the realm of the scribe's deepest magic. But first, your spirit must be tested. To pass, you must reveal not only your courage, but the truth that dwells within. You swallow, feeling the weight of the moment settle heavy on your chest. The gatekeeper gestures, and the world around you shifts. The trees seem to lean closer. The shadows ripple, and the path ahead vanishes. There is only a clearing bathed in twilight, ringed by towering oaks, whose leaves twinkle with ethereal light. Here, the gatekeeper says, you will face your trial, a test of intention and heart. The forest does not suffer the false or the fearful. A hush falls, broken only by the soft crackle of dry leaves underfoot. From the shadows, a low murmur rises, like an ancient chant sung by unseen lips. The clearing's atmosphere thickens, the air pulsing with magic and expectation. You step forward, breath steady, and remember the diary's whispered promises. This journey is yours, not for conquest, but for connection to the forest, the scribe, and deeper truths hidden beneath falling leaves. A slender figure emerges from the darkness cell, reflection of yourself, but blurred and shifting like mist. It moves with your every step, but twists your intentions, mirroring doubts, fears, and half-remembered regrets you never voiced. The shadow speaks in a voice woven from your own. Why seek the scribe, a secret? Are you but a wanderer chasing ghosts? Can you bear the weight of knowledge, and the price it demands? Your heart pounds as you face this intangible but all too familiar adversary. You realize the test is not physical, but a confrontation with your inner self, the parts you hide or deny. Remembering the warmth of the golden leaf you held, the keeper's words, and the forest's silent encouragement, you stand tall and answer not in words but in conviction, in breath, in the beating of your heart. I seek the truth to protect, to understand, and to carry forward. I step forward, not out of fear but with hope. If the forest's magic and the scribe's story demand courage, then courage I shall give. The shadow shifts, dissolving like morning mist as the clearing brightens. The trees release a breath, their leaves shimmering anew with vibrant light. The path, once vanished, now reappears clear, inviting, and lined with glowing stones that pulse gently under your feet. The gatekeeper nods, unmasking to reveal a face both youthful and ageless, serene and fierce. You have passed, scribe in waiting. The forest accepts your heart and mind. Beyond this gate, your journey deepens. The scribe's legacy awaits, for only those who walk true may uncover its owner. A new resolve swells within your chest. The diary feels lighter, as if part of its burden has passed to you, and the forest around you seems to glow with renewed life. You step forward beneath the archway, where the canopy above parts just enough to reveal a sky brimmed with stars. With every step into the unknown, you become more than a seeker. You become a guardian of stories, a bearer of light beneath falling leaves. And so, the path unfolds once more, inviting you to discover what lies beyond. The path beyond the gatekeeper's archway opens before you like a whispered promise, winding its way deeper into the heart of the ancient forest. The air grows cooler here, layered with the scent of damp moss, wild herbs, and the faint tang of old parchment, an invisible thread tying present to past. Soft murmurs echo among towering trees whose thick roots twist like ancient serpents beneath your feet. Clutching the diary close, you continue your journey, feeling the weight of centuries woven into each fallen leaf and shadow. The forest's language reveals itself gradually, spirals coiled along birch bark, arcane sigils carved delicately on weathered stone, and veins of golden sap tracing delicate patterns on ancient oaks. These are not mere markings, but living symbols, snapshots of the scribe's story encoded in nature's hand. Your breath catches as you kneel beside a moss-covered stone engraved with a luminous butterfly's wings, etched with fine, radiant lines that seem to shift as you watch. Running your fingers over the carving, you sense a warmth spreading through your palm. Warmth that pulses like a heartbeat, syncing with your own. Suddenly, the symbols glimmer, emitting a soft glow that spirals upward toward the canopy. Leaves above stir, twirling in slow, hypnotic dance. The air around you hums softly, vibrating with an unseen energy of sacred connection, awakened by your touch. The diary's pages flutter open to reveal sketches matching the carvings around you, their symbols dancing with renewed clarity. Here, the language of falling leaves is tangible. Each spiral denotes time's passage. Each arc signals transformation, and every delicate wing represents the fragile balance between life and memory. As you rise and follow the glowing pattern etched into the forest's living script, the symbols guide you like a constellation, weaving a path deeper into the woods. Mysterious figures appear in fleeting glimpses, a fox watching quietly from behind a bush, an owl's silent gaze from a branch overhead, and shadows shifting like watchers unseen. Your heart pounds with anticipation, and a strange comfort you sense the forest acknowledges you now, not as an intruder, but as a trusted participant in its unfolding story. Every symbol traced, every leaf deciphered, draws you closer to a secret long hidden beneath the tangled roots and golden light. Midway along the trail, you come upon a small clearing bathed in dappled sunlight. Here, the air vibrates with magic, and the ground is strewn with fallen leaves shimmering faintly with iridescent hues. Kneeling, you pick up a cluster of these leaves. They bear symbols nearly identical to those in your diary, yet glowing bright alive with ancient power. A gust of wind stirs, and from the edge of the clearing, a soft voice calls your name. It is the keeper of leaves, her form barely visible among the shifting patterns of light and shadow. She approaches, carrying a bundle of scrolls bound with vines and topped with a golden leaf clasp. These symbols, she says, are the forest's heartbeat, the scribe's ink written on leaf and bark. To read them is to listen deeply, to honor the cycles of growth, decay, and rebirth. Each mark holds a lesson, a memory, a promise. Together, you unfurl one of the ancient scrolls, revealing maps and stories etched with delicate care. The keeper's fingertips trace the winding lines. Here lies the story of the scribe's last journey, one not just through the forest, but through time itself. You realize your quest is entwined with this timeless dance of symbols, calling you to become both reader and writer, guardian and scribe. As the sun sets behind the trees, the glowing symbols pulse softly, illuminating your path forward under the fluttering canopy, a path where every step is a story, every leaf a word, and every breath a promise waiting to be written anew. Night falls slowly as you follow the glowing symbols, your heartbeat steady in the embrace of the forest's ancient magic. The canopy above darkens to a velvet tapestry speckled with stars, while the soft chorus of nocturnal creatures serenades your journey. Every breath draws in the scent of damp earth, pine needles, and the lingering warmth of fading day, an orchestra of senses weaving you deeper into the forest's heart. The glowing carvings on trees and stones guide you onward to a grove unlike any you have seen, a sanctuary where the light seems to fold inwards like a protective shield. The air here vibrates softly with resonance, filled with the subtle hum of unseen wings and the faintest whispers of forgotten words. As you step into the clearing, the glow from the symbols fades, and the soft twinkling of fireflies rises to take its place. Around you, shadows dance and coil between gnarled trunks, creating shapes that flicker on the edge of vision. You feel a presence not threatening but watchful, as though the forest itself breathes with cautious breath. A rustling sound breaks the stillness, and from beyond the trees, a dark shape moves swiftly. Your pulse quickens, yet your breath remains steady, unyielded by fear. The shadows seem to ripple, parting to reveal a figure cloaked in midnight hues. Their face is hidden beneath a hood embroidered with patterns resembling falling leaves, and their eyes deep and sorrowful reflect the flickering light. Who dares walk the sacred grove? The figure's voice flows like a river at dusk, quiet yet carrying weight. Here, where secrets linger and silence holds its breath, only those of true heart may stand. You step forward, gripping the diary that pulses with warmth in your bag, a talisman and a promise. I seek the scribe's story. You answer, voice steady despite the shadow's daunting presence. I follow the call of falling leaves and the path they have traced through time. For a long moment, the figure regards you with unreadable eyes, then slowly lowers the hood to reveal a face, both young and wise, marked by lines tracing stories untold. I am the shadow in the grove, they say, protector of the forest's delicate balance, guardian of the spaces between light and dark. The shadow's gaze pierces deeper, searching your spirit for truths unspoken. The scribe's legacy is fragile. It carries magic wrapped in whispers, powerful yet easily broken by doubt, fear, or betrayal. Many have come seeking, few have stood the trial. Your heart pounds like a drum in response. I carry their story not to claim power, but to honor and protect. If the forest trusts me, I will walk its path with respect and courage. The shadow offers a faint smile, shoulders relaxing. Words are only the beginning. Here, the heart must speak its truth without falter. You will face tests in the days ahead, questions with no clear answers, choices that will shape the forest's fate. Will you hold fast when shadows deepen? Before you can respond, the air ripples and a soft wind lifts the fallen leaves, swirling around you both like living script. The diary glows faintly at your side, confirming your place in this unfolding tale. I will watch, the shadow says, but more than that, I will walk beside you. Together, we may preserve the balance. As the fireflies rise in a glimmering dance around the grove, and the first hints of dawn chase away night's shadows, you sense the journey's weight deepen and its meaning brighten. In this sacred grove, beneath the watchful eyes of the shadow, you step forward not just as seeker, but protector of stories, bearer of light beneath the falling leaves. Dawn's soft glow begins to filter through the branches as you leave the shadowed grove behind, your footsteps light on the moss-covered earth. The forest around you stirs awake, the delicate songs of birds pulse through the air, and sunlight dances on blades of grass like liquid gold. But beneath the beauty lies a profound stillness, the kind that lingers when something important waits to be discovered. Guided by the glowing symbols that pulse faintly in your memory and the steady weight of the diary at your side, you move deeper into the forest's heart. The path ahead is less certain now, weaving between towering trunks and underbrush thick with secrets. Each step feels charged with promise, the air electric with unseen magic. Suddenly, near the roots of a colossal oak, your eyes catch a small light, flickering steadily in the dim forest undergrowth. You approach carefully, heart pulsing in rhythm with the flame's gentle dance. Resting on a mossy stone is an old lantern, its glass pane etched with intricate patterns mirroring the symbols you've traced across the diary and trees. The lantern pulses with an inner lighter, soft, ethereal glow that seems almost alive. You reach out tentatively, and as your fingers close around the handle, warmth radiates through your skin, filling you with calm and purpose. The keeper of leaves appears beside you, her eyes bright with knowing. The lantern, she whispers, is a beacon, both a guide and a guardian. It carries the light of the scribe's truth, illuminating the path ahead when darkness gathers. You lift the lantern, and its glow expands, casting golden trails of light that ripple through the forest like hopes unfolding. The trees seem to lean toward the light, their leaves shimmering with renewed life. The forest breathes with renewed rhythm, its heartbeat entwined with yours and the lantern's gentle flame. With the lantern in hand, the forest path ahead transforms. Shadows retreat, revealing hidden carvings and secret clearings draped in sunlight. Each step feels steadier, the way forward clearer as you carry not just the diary, but the light that bridges past and future. As you journey onward, the lantern's glow flickers softly, guiding you to places where the forest's deepest stories unfold, whispered voices entwined with rustling leaves, delicate petals cradling long-lost truths, and echoes of the scribe's hand immortalized in living script. With every breath, you feel your connection to the forest grow stronger. You are no longer just a listener, but a part of its eternal dancer, bearer of light and stories. Stepping ever deeper beneath the canopy, where magic and memory intertwine, the lantern's light flickers brighter with your resolve, and you carry it forward, illuminating the path through ancient woods and toward the mysteries that lie just beyond the next bend. The soft glow of the lantern pulses gently in your hand as you step deeper into the shadowed forest. The canopy above has thickened, weaving an intricate tapestry of branches and leaves that filter the sunlight into soft, emerald hues. Every breath you take is rich with the scent of damp earth and wild herbs, grounding you in this enchanted space where every element seems alive with meaning. The diary, tucked safely at your side, feels like a fragile link connecting you to a story older than the trees themselves. Its pages rustle softly as if stirred by a hidden breath, urging you onward to uncover the language encoded in the falling leaves, the sacred script of the forest's ancient spirit. You stop beside a slender maple, its leaves aflame with the vibrant reds and golds of autumn. Something stirs within you, a spark of recognition as you notice tiny symbols etched delicately into the veins of the leaves, glimmering faintly like veins of light. They pulse and shift subtly, revealing themselves to be more than natural markings, the language of leaves, a living code waiting to be read. Drawing a deep breath, you extend your hand, letting a single leaf fall gently onto your open palm. The symbols shimmer under your gaze, and you feel a sudden surge, a rush of images, sensations, and whispers swirling like wind in your mind. You see the forest through the eyes of the scribe, each leaf a story, each falling petal a message traveling through time. The language is fluid, not fixed in ink or stone, but alive in motion, a dance of growth, decay, transformation, and renewal. A gentle breeze stirs, lifting more leaves into the air, creating a swirling mosaic of reds and golds that sparkles like living script. As they flutter and twirl, the whispered voices of the forest rise in a soft chorusy, ancient hymn that seems to harmonize with your heartbeat. The keeper of leaves appears beside you once again, her eyes bright with reverence. Few can hear the leaves' true voice, she says softly. To understand this language is to listen deeply, not just with ears but with heart and soul. The scribe taught that stories live in all things, and the forest's spirit is written in each falling leaf. You feel the weight of her words settle warmly within you. This moment is not just discovery, it is initiation. The language of leaves is a code that binds the past and future, life and death, light and shadow. To read it is to understand the cycle of existence itself. The wind swells gently, carrying with it a single leaf that glows brighter than the rest. It drifts toward your face, and as you catch it softly, the symbols blossom into a living map, paths winding through the forest, heralding places of power and secret rest. With newfound clarity, you trace the map's winding course, heart quickening with both reverence and determination. The forest has entrusted you with its deepest secrets, and the falling leaves are your guides, whispering the scribe's message with every rustle and shimmer. The sun begins its slow descent, casting the world in golden light as the forest itself seems to lean closer, awaiting your next step in the eternal dance of life, written in falling leaves. The golden light of dawn filters through the canopy, casting long shadows across the forest floor as you move forward with the lantern's glow illuminating your path. The air hums with quiet anticipation, every rustle of leaves and distant bird call a reminder that the forest breathes in harmony with your own heartbeat. The diary's delicate pages pulse softly at your side, a whispering guide through the tangled mysteries ahead. As the path winds between ancient trees, you enter a clearing warmed by sunlight. There, standing beside a weathered stone bench, draped in vines and moss, is a figure, an embodiment of the forest's living history. Her eyes shine like molten amber, vibrant and knowing, framed by hair that ripples with chestnut and copper, reflecting the very hues of the autumn leaves swirling around her. You feel an inexplicable connection, as if the very essence of the forest has taken form before you. The woman moves with grace, her presence both grounding and ethereal. This is the scribe's descendant, the last living guardian of the ancient secrets you seek. I have watched you, she says, her voice a melody of warmth and curiosity. The forest has tested you, and you have answered its call. The diary you carry is more than paper and ink, it holds the legacy of our line and the promise of what must be preserved. She walks beside you, her footsteps silent on the leaf-strewn ground. Our ancestors wrote not just stories, but wove magic into every word. The scribe's gifts were a bridge between worlds, between the seen and unseen, the past and future. But the legacy is fragile, threatened by those who forget respect for the balance. You listen intently, feeling the weight of her words settle deep in your soul. How can I protect what was lost? How do I carry a story that spans lifetimes? She smiles gently. By living it, by becoming part of the forest's heartbeat and trusting the language of the leaves. The diary is your guide, but your heart will write new chapters. The forest chooses those who walk with truth and courage. Together, you wander to the base of a great elm, where carvings etched into the bark mirror the symbols in your diary. The descendant traces the curved lines with a delicate finger. These markings are a map and a memory. They reveal the places where the scribe inscribed power into the land itself. You will journey to these places, discover their secrets, and restore what was broken. A rustle in the underbrush interrupts the moment, and you both turn as a family of deer steps into the clearing, their eyes calm and wise. The descendant nods. They, too, are part of the story. The forest speaks through all its creatures, and you must listen with open heart. As the day matures, you share stories beneath the canopy. The descendant recounts tales of old magic, sparked by awareness of words that healed wounds, and of a promise made beneath falling leaves that the story would live on. You feel a rising courage and clarity. This is not just a quest for knowledge, but a sacred duty and honor. The forest's secrets are alive in you now, a living thread in the endless tapestry. With a final look at the glowing diary, a steady lantern in your hand, and the descendant's encouraging smile, you prepare to walk deeper into the forest. Embrace both, listener and bearer of the scribe's enduring song. The afternoon sun dips lower, filtering through the towering canopy above, casting flickering shadows on the forest floor as you follow the scribe's descendant deeper into the enchanted woods. The path is softer heath moss thick beneath your feet, the air rich with the mingling scents of earth, pine, and wildflowers. Every step seems to pull you further into a world where magic lingers like morning mist and stories pulse in the very roots of the trees. Your companion pauses beside an ancient yew, its bark rough and scarred with time. Here, she says softly, is where the heart of the scribe's legacy beats strongest. The secret lies beneath this canopy, woven into the fabric of the forest itself. You kneel beside the tree, brushing aside a bed of fallen leaves to reveal a tangled network of roots. Beneath the surface, you detect faint carvings, spirals, wings, and eyes etched into the rough wood, like whispers frozen in time. The descendant's fingers trace the symbols, her touch reverent. These marks are not merely decoration, she explains. They are guardians' enchanted seals that protect the scribe's hidden knowledge, binding it to the land and its life force. As she speaks, a soft wind stirs the branches overhead, and a scattering of leaves drifts down like golden rain. You catch one, its shimmering veins alive with the ancient symbols. Holding it gently, you feel a pulse and echo of power resting within, a fragile but potent gift. Together, you uncover a hollow beneath the roots, carefully prying open a small, worn chest nestled in the earth. Inside lies a collection of scrolls, their edges frayed, but their content unfaded by time. You unroll a scroll, revealing pages filled with flowing script, interlaced with illustrations of leaves and stars. The scribe's final works. The descendant's voice is hushed with awe. These scrolls contain the spells and wisdom that shaped the forest, the words that wove protection and renewal into every season, every falling leaf. It is a language of balance, delicate and powerful. You read aloud softly, feeling the script awaken beneath your voice. As the words linger in the air, the forest seems to respond. The ground warms slightly. The moss glows faintly, and distant birdsong rises in celebration. Yet with the beauty and promise comes a sense of urgency. The scribe's work, while powerful, is also vulnerable. The balance it maintains is threatened, not just by time's relentless march, but by shadows stirring beneath the surface. Our task, the descendant intones, is to safeguard these secrets, to nourish the magic as it flows through the forest's veins. To do so, you must understand that the forest's life is a dance of light and shadow, growth and decay. To protect the scribe's legacy, you must walk the path of both guardian and storyteller. As the sun dips below the horizon, bathing the grove in twilight hues, you wrap the scrolls carefully, feeling their weight physical and spiritually in your hands. The forest's heartbeat echoes in your chest, steady and strong. With the diary as your map and the descendant as your guide, you rise, ready to walk further beneath the canopy's secrets, deeper into the story, etched by leaf and ink, light and shadow. Your journey continues, each breath, each step carrying you forward as the scribe's legacy lives on through you. The forest grows deeper and more enchanting with every step, its light dimming into a soft twilight glow beneath the thick canopy. The air here is cool and rich, alive with the scent of damp earth and the faint hint of ink, the subtle aroma of ancient manuscripts, long hidden but never forgotten. The diary at your side seems to pulse gently with this secretive energy, urging you onward. Ahead, nestled between two ancient pines, you discern a small, weathered building cloaked in vines and moss. Its wooden walls sway with the breath of the forest, and a carved sign above the door bears a symbol you recognize: an ink quill intertwined with leaves. The mark of the scribe's sanctuary. The descendant gestures toward the doorway. This is the scribe's workshop, the place where stories were not only told but breathed into life. Here, ink was more than pigment. It was magic captured in fluid form. You step inside cautiously. The air is thick with the scent of old paper and ink pots, and shelves lined with scrolls and manuscripts stretch toward a ceiling tangled with creeping ivy. Light streams through stained glass windows, casting rainbow shards across a wide wooden desk cluttered with parchments, quills, and delicate brushstrokes frozen in time. Approaching the desk, you notice a small vessel filled with glistening ink that seems to shimmer and ripple like a liquid star. You dip your finger into the ink, and an almost electric warmth seeps into your skin. As you lift your hand, tiny sparks swirl in the air before settling into delicate shapes, letters, and leaves that flutter like butterfly wings. The diary's pages flutter of their own accord, revealing new entries written in a hand that matches the dancing symbols you now recognize. Words glow softly, as if alive and eager to be read aloud. You swallow a surge of wonder and reverence. Here, the scribe captured the essence of the forest, the descendant explains. The ink breathes with spirit, carrying life into every word. What was written was not just recorded but awakened. You take up a quill, the delicate feather cool and light in your hand, and begin to write on a blank page carefully placed before you on the desk. The letters flow naturally, as if guided by unseen fingers. Each stroke releases a faint glow, imbuing the page with the forest's pulse. The story you write seems to stir the air, weaving new magic into the sanctuary. Suddenly, the workshop fills with the soft fluttering of wings and the gentle hum of energy. The very walls seem to vibrate with the scribe's enduring presence, an invitation and a charge to continue the tale, to breathe new life into ancient words. The descendant smiles, her eyes alight with pride and hope. You are not just reading the scribe's story, you are adding your own ink, your own breath. The legacy is alive, evolving with every word and every heart that listens. Grasping the weight of the moment, you understand that this workshop is both a home and a haven, a place where past, present, and future merge in the quiet dance of ink, leaf, and life. Rising, you carry the glowing manuscript with care, lantern light guiding you as you step back into the forest's embrace. The scribe's magic flows through you, weaving the next chapter beneath the whispering leaves. The journey continues, each word a living spark beneath the falling canopy. The forest grows deeper and more enchanting with every step, its light dimming into a soft twilight glow beneath the thick canopy. The air here is cool and rich, alive with the scent of damp earth and the faint hint of ink, the subtle aroma of ancient manuscripts, long hidden but never forgotten. The diary at your side seems to pulse gently with this secretive energy, urging you onward. Ahead, nestled between two ancient pines, you discern a small, weathered building cloaked in vines and moss. Its wooden walls sway with the breath of the forest, and a carved sign above the door bears a symbol you recognize: an ink quill intertwined with leaves. The mark of the scribe's sanctuary. The descendant gestures toward the doorway. This is the scribe's workshop, the place where stories were not only told but breathed into life. Here, ink was more than pigment. It was magic captured in fluid form. You step inside cautiously. The air is thick with the scent of old paper and ink pots, and shelves lined with scrolls and manuscripts stretch toward a ceiling tangled with creeping ivy. Light streams through stained glass windows, casting rainbow shards across a wide wooden desk cluttered with parchments, quills, and delicate brushstrokes frozen in time. Approaching the desk, you notice a small vessel filled with glistening ink that seems to shimmer and ripple like a liquid star. You dip your finger into the ink, and an almost electric warmth seeps into your skin. As you lift your hand, tiny sparks swirl in the air before settling into delicate shapes, letters, and leaves that flutter like butterfly wings. The diary's pages flutter of their own accord, revealing new entries written in a hand that matches the dancing symbols you now recognize. Words glow softly, as if alive and eager to be read aloud. You swallow a surge of wonder and reverence. Here, the scribe captured the essence of the forest, the descendant explains. The ink breathes with spirit, carrying life into every word. What was written was not just recorded but awakened. You take up a quill, the delicate feather cool and light in your hand, and begin to write on a blank page carefully placed before you on the desk. The letters flow naturally, as if guided by unseen fingers. Each stroke releases a faint glow, imbuing the page with the forest's pulse. The story you write seems to stir the air, weaving new magic into the sanctuary. Suddenly, the workshop fills with the soft fluttering of wings and the gentle hum of energy. The very walls seem to vibrate with the scribe's enduring presence, an invitation and a charge to continue the tale, to breathe new life into ancient words. The descendant smiles, her eyes alight with pride and hope. You are not just reading the scribe's story, you are adding your own ink, your own breath. The legacy is alive, evolving with every word and every heart that listens. Grasping the weight of the moment, you understand that this workshop is both a home and a haven, a place where past, present, and future merge in the quiet dance of ink, leaf, and life. Rising, you carry the glowing manuscript with care, lantern light guiding you as you step back into the forest's embrace. The scribe's magic flows through you, weaving the next chapter beneath the whispering leaves. The journey continues, each word a living spark beneath the falling canopy. With the glowing manuscript carefully stowed away, you press onward, the dense canopy above muffling the sounds of the wider world. The forest around you seems to shift subtly, as if breathing in concert with your own heartbeat. The pulse of life flowing through every trunk, branch, and leaf. A serene yet electric energy hums beneath the earth, weaving an unbreakable connection between you and this living sanctuary. You follow a narrow path, lined with fern and flowering vines that seem to lean in, welcoming your presence. The light around you warms and intensifies a gentle glow that rises from the soil itself, guiding your steps forward. The air thickens with the sweet scent of jasmine and damp moss, each breath filling your lungs with the forest's secret essence. The descendant walks beside you silently, her gaze calm but deeply aware. "This is where the forest reveals its heartbeat," she says softly. "Here, beneath the roots and soil, ancient life pulses in rhythms older than time." To understand the scribe's legacy is to listen deeply, to feel this heartbeat and honor the balance it sustains. You kneel tentatively beside a mossy mound, reaching out to touch the earth. A warmth radiates from your palm, different from before, softer, but vibrant, alive in every grain of soil and root. Tiny sparkles of light rise from the ground like fireflies, swirling around your fingers in delicate dance. The diary trembles faintly in your bag, as if sharing in the moment's magic. The descendant unrolls another scroll, revealing symbols of spirals and cycles entwined with images of roots pushing through earth, leaves budding, and water flowing in eternal procession. "This," she explains, "is the song of the forest, an endless dance of growth and decay, of life given and reclaimed." The scribe understood this dance and wove it into every word, every leaf, every breath of the forest. As you close your eyes, the pulse beneath the earth grows louder, a rhythmic beat that syncs seamlessly with your own heart. Visions blossom within your minda, cycle of seasons unfolding in endless loop. Seeds bursting through soil, leaves spiraling down to nourish the ground, and ancient trees standing sentinel over centuries of whispered stories. Suddenly, the ground beneath you quivers gently, and a soft melody rises from the earth itself, living hymns sung by roots, stones, and leaves. The forest's heartbeat reverberates through your soul, binding you ever tighter to the scribe's legacy. Opening your eyes, you feel renewed with purpose, part of something vast and eternal. The forest's magic is not static, but a living rhythm, flowing through you now, calling you to move with its grace and power. The descendant smiles, her voice a soothing balm. To walk this forest is to become part of its heartbeat, guardian, storyteller, keeper of balance. The legacy depends on those who listen, learn, and live its truths. Rising, you continue along the glowing path with the rhythmic pulse guiding your footsteps. The scribe's stories humming in the wind, and the heartbeat of the forest strong within you. Each breath, each step, is now a story, a living thread in the endless tapestry beneath the falling leaves. The forest around you has grown quieter now, the soft pulse of life beneath your feet echoing gently in your ears like the distant beat of a drum. The air thickens with anticipation and the weight of untold stories that seem to hover in every shadow and light. Your fingers twitch slightly, yearning to write, to inscribe your journey and the forest's secrets in the glowing manuscript you carry. But you know that the path ahead demands more than just ink and words. The descendant leads you onward, deeper into a secluded hollow where the trees curve protectively overhead, their branches forming a natural dome. The ground here is soft with thick moss and carpeted with fallen leaves that glitter faintly in the dim light, a sanctuary untouched by time. At the center of the hollow lies an ancient stone plinth, ornate with carvings worn thin by centuries. Resting atop it is a quill, its feather blackened and frayed, the tip broken cleanly in two. Despite its broken state, the quill seems charged with a latent power, humming softly as though waiting for hands worthy of its magic. This, the descendant says softly, is the broken quill, the scribe's sacred tool, shattered in the final days of the old guardianship. It holds the power to inscribe not just stories, but the forest's essence itself. But broken, the magic is incomplete, its flow disrupted. You kneel, lifting the quill gently. A faint spark flickers at its base, and the air around you pulsing with a restrained energy, full of promise but equally potent danger. You sense that restoring the quill's full power will be your next and greatest challenge, a quest that will test your courage, heart, and understanding of the delicate balance you've vowed to protect. The descendant's gaze is steady as she reveals an ancient scroll. Legends tell of three greater elements needed to mend the quill: the ink of the moon, the feather of the sky, and the root of the elder tree. Each lies hidden in a secret place, guarded by trials both unseen and unknown. You feel a mixture of determination and daunt as the gravity of your journey expands before you. The forest whispers encouragement, rustling leaves like a gentle choir, urging you to meet the challenges ahead. Your role is no longer passive. The descendant continues. You must seek these sacred relics, prove your bond with the forest, and weave the quill whole again. Only then can the scribe's true legacy be restored, and the magic once again flow through the land. The sky deepens to twilight as you tuck the broken quill safely into your bag alongside the glowing manuscript and the diary. The lantern's light flickers softly, a beacon to guide your way through the coming trials. Rising, you feel the forest's heartbeat steady beneath your feet, anchoring you in hope and purpose. The path ahead may be fraught with shadows and challenge, but it is also illuminated by the promise of restoration and the power of stories yet to be written. With a final glance at the plinth, you step forward, ready to begin the quest to heal the broken quill and carry the scribe's magic into new chapters beneath the ever-falling canopy. The soft glow of dawn filters through the canopy, painting the forest in hues of rose and gold. The air is still yet filled with a palpable tension, as if the very breath of the woods holds memories pressing to surface, a tapestry woven from countless stories, waiting for your touch to unravel and reveal their truths. You step lightly through the underbrush, the broken quill and diary nestled securely in your pack, the lantern's warm light steady at your side. With each step, you feel the forest's heartbeat thrum beneath your feet, a rhythmic pulse echoing the unseen connections between root and leaf, past and present. Ahead, the path narrows and begins to slope downward, leading you toward a vale, shrouded in mist, where whispers ride the cool breeze. The descendant walks beside you, her eyes distant yet sharp with unspoken knowledge. "We are entering a place steeped in echoes," she murmurs. "Here, the past lingers like a ghostly breeze, and those who listen closely may hear the scribe's earliest stories." The mist thickens as you descend, soft tendrils curling around ancient stones and fallen logs. In the hush of this sacred space, the forest seems to fold in on itself, reality shimmering like heat waves over sunlit grass. You close your eyes and breathe deeply, senses reaching beyond the veil. Suddenly, the faintest flicker of light dances before you, a shimmer like starlight caught in a web. It pulses and swirls, growing brighter until visions unfold like fragile glass paintings. You see a time long past, a figure cloaked in midnight ink, seated beneath towering trees, quill poised above parchment, capturing stories in strokes of living magic. The vision shifts, showing moments of wonder and lost, seasons turning, leaves falling and rising, the scribe's hand trembling as they inscribe the last words before disappearing into memory. The weight of unfinished tales and delicate promises hangs heavy, a tether pulling toward the present. Opening your eyes, the vision lingers softly in the shimmering mist. The descendant places a hand gently on your shoulder. These echoes are not mere memories, they are lessons etched in time. The past guides the future, and your journey threads through both. You feel a renewed determination settle within your chest. The scribe's story is both a legacy and a living force, shaped by those who remember. who bear witness, and who dare to continue. As the mist begins to lift, the path ahead glows faintly, marked by symbols glowing softly like embers beneath the leaves. The forest's breath deepens, and with every step forward, you carry the echoes not as ghosts, but as guiding lights. The journey stretches onward, mystery unfolding like petals in slow bloom beneath the watchful canopy. The forest grows restless. The gentle rhythm of leaves rustling has shifted into a low, ominous murmur as a distant wind gathers strength and urgency. The sun, which only moments ago warmed you with a golden embrace, now hides behind thickening clouds that blot out the sky's azure expanse. Darkness is creeping beneath the canopy, seeping into the bones of the ancient woods like a slow, twisting tide. You pause, feeling the quill and diary weigh heavier against your side. The lanterns glow flickering, as if warning you of what lies ahead. Above, the branches sway violently, groaning with the force of the rising storm. Each gust carries whispers and something else, an unspoken warning sewn into the sharp kiss of the cold wind. The descendant's face hardens as she steps closer. A storm is coming, not just of rain and wind, but of shifting power. The balance we protect teeters on a knife's edge. The scribe's magic has stirred forces both ancient and restless. A crack of thunder breaks the silence, rolling like a savage drumbeat through the forest's veins. Leaves twist and fly wildly, a chaotic dance of nature's fury unleashed. Your heart races, matching the storm's relentless cadence. The descendant points ahead to a clearing where the air shimmers with tension. There, ancient stones form a circle, worn smooth, but still pulsing faintly with lingering enchantment. This is the eye of the forest, she explains, a place where magic converges and tempests are born. If the storm is to be calmed or controlled, it must be understood here. With resolve, hardening like forged steel, you enter the circle, feeling a surge of raw energy crackling beneath the earth and sky. The storm clouds churn overhead, shadows racing like spectral horses, and the wind howls around you like a chorus of lost voices. In your hands, the broken quill hums with restless energy. The diary opens itself, pages fluttering like a wild bird, desperate to be heard. Words glow bright and urgent, calling you to listen, to act. You raise the lantern high, its steady light a beacon against the storm's fury. The forest's heartbeat quickens, pulsing faster with every gust. And in this moment, you know your path is no longer just a quest, it is a battle for the soul of the woods. The storm's fury is both trial and teacher, demanding courage as the ancient dance of balance turns fierce and wild. Your breath steadies, eyes fixed on the swirling chaos, heart open and unyielding. Here, beneath the tempestuous canopy, the story reaches a crescendo, a turning point where the past's power collides with the uncertain future. And you are at its center, not just a reader or seeker, but the living ink in the scribe's unfolding tale. The storm has passed, leaving a fresh stillness in its wake, a quiet so profound that even the smallest rustle of leaves feels like a symphony. The forest breathes deeply, its pulse steady once more. But you know that beneath this calm lies a depth of secrets waiting to resurface. The descendant leads you to a clearing dominated by a colossal oak, its branches stretched wide like the arms of an ancient guardian. But this is no ordinary tree. Its bark is scarred, twisted, alive with whispered stories etched into the rough surface like the pages of a living book. This tree, the descendant says softly, is the fallen oak. It once stood tall as the heart of the forest, until a great loss struck it down. Beneath its roots lie truths, hidden by time, waiting for those brave enough to seek. You approach cautiously, feeling the weight of centuries pressing against your skin. At the base, roots snake apart to reveal a narrow opening, a natural doorway leading into the earth itself. The descendant hands you a soft leather-bound journal, a companion to the diary you carry. This journal belonged to the last guardian of the fallen oak. She explains, its pages hold memories that can guide us through the darkness yet to come. Lighting your lantern carefully, you slip through the opening into a cool, shadowed hollow beneath the colossal roots. The air is thick with the smell of damp soil and ancient wood, alive with the lingering magic of stories untold. Your footsteps echo softly as you explore the cavernous space, lined with carvings and symbols glowing faintly in the lantern's light. You pause before a stone pedestal inscribed with a series of runes matching those in the bounded pages. The descendant's voice breaks the silence. These runes are the key, each one a fragment of the scribe's heart, a fragment lost when the oak fell. Opening the journal, you discover a map leading deeper into the hollow, marking places where fragments of the scribe's essence were hidden to protect them from those who wished to steal their power. As you trace the map's route, the cavern expands into a labyrinth of roots and earth. Shadows play tricks on your eyes, and the weight of silence presses close. Yet with every step, you feel the scribe's presence guiding you, urging you onward through the winding passages where darkness and light entwine. At the labyrinth's heart, you find a small chamber bathed in an ethereal green glow. Here rests an ancient relic, an inkpot, shimmering with iridescent essence, said to contain the purest magic of the fallen oak itself. Though its glow is faint now, you sense the power waiting to be rekindled. With trembling hands, you lift the inkpot, feeling warmth flood through you, a signal that healing and restoration are within reach, but only with wisdom and courage to come. Emerging from the hollow, the forest welcomes you back with open arms. Sunlight dapples the canopy, and the air hums with renewed vitality. The fallen oak's legacy is alive once again, woven into your story and the endless dance of leaves falling beneath the timeless sky. The wind's breath has returned to a soft murmur as you leave the sanctuary beneath the fallen oak. The forest around you is alive with song, a gentle chorus of rustling leaves, distant bird calls, and the faintest hum of unseen magic weaving through the branches. Yet, beneath this serene melody lies an undercurrent of unease, a shadow that slips between the trees like a silent predator. As you move forward, you sense eyes watching from the darkened thickets, glimmers that vanish when met, whispers that fade before they can be fully heard. The forest's rhythm shifts, its heartbeat quickening, as if warning you of unseen dangers lurking in the quiet. The diary trembles softly at your side, its pages fluttering like trembling wings. The descendant's gaze sharpens, her voice hushed yet firm. The whispering shadows are the forest's guardians and tricksters, spirits born from light and darkness intertwined. They test those who seek the scribe's secrets, probing hearts and intentions. Suddenly, shapes materialize in the flickering light, figures draped in twilight, their edges blurred and shifting like smoke. They swirl around you, forming fragments of forgotten dreams and half-seen fears. Their voices a chorus of riddles and warnings. You carry the scribe's burden. Their voices weave together, but do you understand the price? The balance is fragile, and even the smallest doubt can tip the scales. Your heart pounds, but you stand firm, recalling the warmth of the inkpot, the strength of the fallen oak, and the steady glow of the lantern in your hand, the light that has guided you through shadow and storm. I walk with truth, you answer, voice steady. I carry the stories to heal, to protect, and to bring balance. The shadows hesitate, wavering like flickers of fading light, then slowly dissolve into a shower of shimmering motes that drift upward like fireflies retreating at dawn. The descendant nods approvingly. You have faced the shadows and held your light. Such trials are the forest's way of forging protectors who will not falter when darkness deepens. With renewed courage, you press onward, the whispering shadows receding into the forest's depths. Yet their presence lingers, a reminder that every journey through light carries its own darkness, a dance as old as the falling leaves themselves. As twilight descends beneath the canopy, you move forward, each step a story, each breath a promise bound to the scribe's enduring legacy. The forest breathes around you like a living hymn, its canopy a cathedral of emerald and gold, casting dappled light that shimmers with whispered enchantment. The air is alive with the scent of rain-kissed moss and freshly fallen leaves, an intoxicating reminder of the cycle of life cradled beneath the towering trees. You feel the weight of your journey press gently but firmly against your heart, a steady reminder of the legacy you carry forward. The descendant leads you toward a clearing encircled by ancient trees, their trunks etched with glowing runes that pulse faintly with the rhythm of the forest's heartbeat. In the center lies a circle of leaves, scarlet, amber, and gold, arranged meticulously in patterns that seem both natural and deliberate, as if crafted by unseen hands in reverence and purpose. "This is the circle of leaves," she whispers, her voice reverent as the wind stirs the air, a sacred space where the forest's magic gathers, a place of balance and renewal. To walk this circle is to honor the dance of life and death, growth and decay. You step forward cautiously, feeling the soft crunch of leaves underfoot echo through the stillness. The circle's pattern twists in an intricate dance of spirals and stars, the symbols you've come to know as the language of the forest. Each leaf hums softly, a quiet song that vibrates through the soles of your feet and up your spine. The descendant watches closely as you move to the center. Place your hand on the stones and feel the pulse of the forest's energy. Here, you are not just a visitor, you are a part of the eternal cycle, linked to every leaf that falls and every seed that springs. You obey instinctively, fingers brushing over the cool surface of the ancient stones. A gentle warmth blooms beneath your touch, surging upward like liquid sunlight as the circle's magic seeps into your veins. The leaves around you flutter, lifting into a soft spiral that swirls with shimmering light, encasing you in a cocoon of history, power, and possibility. Visions bloom behind your closed eyes, memories of seasons turning, the scribe's hand tracing words that bound the forest's spirit, the pulse of lifetimes caught within each leaf's delicate veins. You feel yourself connected to this dance, that fragile balance where every ending cradles a new beginning, every falling leaf a story told anew. Suddenly, the air hums brighter, and a soft voice echoes in your mind, the ancient promise of the scribe, a vow whispered beneath countless canopies, to protect, to honor, to renew. The circle pulses in response, its energy cascading like a waterfall of light, weaving you deeper into the forest's living story. You open your eyes, breath steady and heart open, knowing that this sacred dance is your charge, now the eternal rhythm of life, written in ink, leaves, and soul. Together, you and the descendant step out of the circle, the forest around you alive with new meaning and strength, ready for the chapters yet unwritten beneath the endless canopy. The forest seems to hold its breath as you step away from the circle of leaves, the soft rustling of the canopy above, like a whispered promise carried on the breeze. The sun's last golden rays stretch through the trees, casting long shadows that dance and shift like memories just beyond reach. You clutch the diary and the glowing manuscript, tightly, tools of legacy and duty, and sense that your journey is on the cusp of transformation. Ahead, the path narrows and slopes gently upward, leading toward a ridge where an ancient tree stands alone against the sky. Its bark is scarred with deep grooves, and at its base, a symbol is carved with exquisite karamark that seems familiar, as if echoing the language of falling leaves you've learned to read. The descendant stops, her gaze focused on the mark. "This is the mark of the scribe," she says softly, "a symbol of trust, a sign that the forest has chosen you to carry its story forward." You kneel beside the symbol, tracing the carved lines with your fingertips. A faint warmth spreads through your hand, a pulse like the heartbeat of the woods themselves. The mark glows softly, a living emblem bound to your spirit. Suddenly, the diary's pages flutter wildly, revealing a passage you hadn't seen before. Prophecy written in flowing script about a chosen guardian, who would restore balance and breathe new life into the ancient stories. A rush of images floods your mind. The scribe's quill mended by moonlight, leaves glowing with magic, and your own footsteps tracing the forest's sacred path. You understand now that the mark is not just a symbol, but a covenant, a binding promise between you and the forest's timeless soul. The descendant places a steady hand on your shoulder. With this mark comes responsibility and power. You are now part of the scribe's lineage, entrusted to protect and renew. The legacy is both a burden and a gift, woven into every leaf that falls. The forest around you seems to pulse with approval, the rustling leaves, a chorus of ancient voices blessing your new role. Light filters through the canopy, casting a golden glow that warms your heart and ignites your resolve. Rising, you feel a deep sense of belonging and purpose. The path ahead remains uncertain, filled with trials and mysteries, but you carry the mark, an unspoken vow to walk true beneath the falling leaves. As the twilight deepens, you take your first step forward with the scribe's mark etched in your soul, ready to write the next chapter in a story that has no end. The twilight deepens as you leave the ridge behind, the mark of the scribe glowing softly on your palm like a pulse of living light. The forest around you watches with silent understanding, the canopy whispering secrets in a language only heart and soul can comprehend. The path you walk forks, splitting like a river into two currents, each promising different futures and demanding distinct courage. To the left, a sun-dappled trail winds upward toward a golden clearing where light blooms like a living thing. The air there hums with warmth and promise, a place where hope shines brightly despite the shadows. This path seems one of renewal, growth, and healing, a chance to nurture the legacy entrusted to you and breathe new life into the scribe's story. To the right, A narrower trail descends into the shadowed valley, where mist clings low and ancient stones bear the scars of forgotten battles. The air grows denser here, thick with mystery and latent power. This path calls to those willing to face the forest's veiled dangers, to unravel tangled truths, and confront the darkness lurking beneath beauty's surface. The descendant stands beside you, her gaze steady and full of quiet encouragement. The scribe's legacy is woven from balance, she says softly. Light and shadow, hope and challenge. You must choose your path wisely, for each will shape the tale in ways only the forest knows. You pause, feeling the weight of the decision settle around your shoulders like a cloak. Both paths call with urgent beauty, one offering light and growth, the other mystery and transformation. Both require your heart and courage, your trust in the forest's enduring wisdom. As you breathe in the forest's timeless rhythm, you hear the soft murmur of falling leaves, a rustling song that weaves through the air like whispered advice. The heart that listens will find the way, drawing strength from the glowing mark upon your hand and the silent support of the descendant. You step forward with intention, choosing the path that calls most deeply to your spirit. The forest bends with you, wrapping you in its eternal embrace as you journey into the unfolding story, your story woven beneath the endless canopy, where every leaf holds a secret and every step a new beginning. The path you have chosen winds deeper into the forest's embrace, each step guided by the glowing mark of the scribe. The air grows cooler and crisper, carrying the scent of aged paper and whispered wisdom. Shadows lengthen as towering trees arch overhead, their intertwined branches forming a vaulted ceiling that protects a secret as old as the woods themselves. Ahead, nestled between ancient oaks, you discover an opening disguised by creeping ivy and gnarled roots that leads into a hidden passage carved from the earth. Inside, the air is thick with dust and magic, tinged with the faint glow of ethereal light emanating from shelves upon shelves of forgotten tomes and scrolls. This is the hidden library, the sanctuary where the scribe's vast knowledge was preserved through generations. You step carefully among the towering stacks, fingertips brushing the spines of books bound in worn leather etched with arcane symbols. The descendant's voice breaks the silence. This library is a vault of stories, spells, and secrets. Many have sought it, but few have found the courage to enter, and even fewer have left unchanged. The diary in your hand vibrates softly, resonating with the power stored within these ancient pages. You find a scroll unfurled on a nearby lectern, its delicate script shimmering as you approach. The words tell of a magic beyond ink and leaf, a magic that breathes life into stories and shapes worlds. As you study the texts, you realize that the scribe's legacy is woven not just in tales told, but in the very fabric of this enchanted forest. Each story, each symbol, each whisper of the wind holds meaning, waiting for you to unlock. Suddenly, the ground beneath you hums with an energy long dormant. Books shift gently on their shelves, the library responding to your presence as though awakened from a deep slumber. You feel the weight of responsibility thicken. This knowledge is not merely to be kept, but to be lived, shared, and protected. Embracing the legacy, you take up the call to become the next guardian of these stories, ready to carry the scribe's light through shadows and seasons yet to come. The hidden library fades behind you as you step back into the forest's emerald embrace, the weight of ancient knowledge still pulsing softly in your hands. The diary and glowing manuscripts nestle carefully in your pack, but an eerie emptiness catches your eye near the mouth of the earth-carved passage, a single parchment, stark and untarnished, resting upon a moss-covered stone. The descendant gazes at it with quiet reverence. "This is the inkless page," she says, a paradox within the scribe's legacy, blank and whole, waiting to be filled. It carries the power to shape the future, a page that writes itself through deeds, meaning, and will. You reach out, fingers trembling slightly as you lift the page. Unlike the glowing manuscript, it holds no visible words, no shining script, yet it vibrates with potent potential, a silent promise hanging on the cusp of creation. The scribe believed that some stories cannot be written in ink alone. The descendant whispers, they are lived, breathed, and woven through time. The inkless page calls to those who dare to shape the unknown, to write with choices and courage. As you turn the page in your hands, the forest around you seems to lean closer, branches weaving silently overhead, leaves shimmering with expectation. The whispers of falling leaves grow louder, compelling, like a chorus of unseen writers urging you onward. A sudden gust sweeps through, filling the air with swirling leaves that twirl and spiral in intricate patterns. Within their dance, you glimpse shapes, paths, faces, moments yet to be lived, choices waiting to be made. The power of the inkless page stirs within you a responsibility to craft the next chapter, not just with ink or word, but through courage, action, and heart. The forest's magic is a living story, ever shifting, embraced by those who heed its call. You are the pen and the story. The descendant says gently, her eyes shining with promise. This page belongs to the future. May your footsteps write boldly beneath the falling leaves. With resolve grounding your spirit, you tuck the inkless page safely among your treasures, ready to walk forth author and guardian of a tale still unfolding beneath the endless canopy. You step lightly through the forest, the dawn's soft light filtering through the canopy in golden ribbons that dance upon the mossy earth. The inkless page rests carefully in your pack, its silent power a constant pulse alongside the glowing manuscripts and diary. The scent of damp earth and wildflowers fills the air, mingling with the faint hum of ancient magic that seems to thrill beneath your skin. Ahead, nestled between two ancient trees, you find a gnarled root that seems to pulse softly with life, vast and twisted, a knot of living history that anchors the forest itself. Beside it stands a figure carved from the very essence of the woods, a guardian of roots, ancient as the earth and wise beyond your knowing. Their eyes meet yours, deep pools reflecting the endless cycles of growth and change. To protect the scribe's legacy, the guardian's voice rumbles like the earth. You must understand the balance beneath your feet. Roots both bind and nourish, they hold secrets deep in shadow and strength unseen. You kneel beside the guardian as their hands pass over the tangled roots, revealing hidden glyphs glowing faintly beneath bark and soil. The descendant's voice weaves beside you. These roots are the veins of the forest's heart. To walk with the guardian is to learn endurance, patience, and the sacred cycle of life and decay. Together, you trace ancient symbols that pulse with vibrant energy, each a fragment of the scribe's power bound into the earth. The guardian's presence flows into you like a steady current, grounding your spirit with understanding and resilience. With every leaf that falls, a promise is kept. They murmur, voice softening like rustling leaves. You carry this promise now. To protect is to hold fragile strength, to be a beacon in shadow as much as light. The forest around listens, breath held in respect. You feel yourself becoming part of this eternal web, a living thread carrying stories told and yet to be. Rising, you clasp the guardian's steady hand, your resolve blossoming like the timeless roots beneath a promise to nurture the legacy through seasons yet to come. With the forest's heartbeat steady beneath your feet, you step forward once more, guided by wisdom ancient and deep beneath the falling leaves. The forest around you seems suspended between moments, as if holding its breath on the edge of a great revelation. Shafts of sunlight pierce the canopy in golden beams, illuminating swirling motes that drift like memories caught in the air. The path beneath your feet twists and bends, seemingly alive, reflecting not only the physical journey, but the deeper currents of time itself. The descendant walks beside you in contemplative silence before finally speaking. We are approaching the crossroads of time, a place where past, present, and future intertwine. Here, the scribe's story folds over itself, revealing choices that ripple through the fabric of all things. Ahead, the path divides once again, but this time the lines between the branches and leaves blur, as if time itself swirls visibly around you. On the left, a winding trail is dressed in the golden light of memories, shadows of faces and places you've encountered, shimmering like echoes embedded in the air. To the right, a darker path whispers of unknown tomorrows, veiled in mist and promise, yet heavy with uncertainty. The descendant's gaze meets yours, steady and unwavering. The choices made here shape more than stories, they shaped fate. Each step carries weight, every turn a possibility unspooling into existence. You reach the stone pedestal marking the crossroads, smooth and ancient, carved with the intertwined symbols of time and leaf. Resting upon it is a small hourglass, its sands of shimmering gold and silver glittering as they fall, marking the slippery passage between moments. As you lift the hourglass, visions flash before your eyes. You see the scribe, poised over a blank page, struggling to capture a truth that shifts with every breath. You glimpse yourself at various points, not just where you have been, but who you might become through paths chosen or forsaken. Your heart pounds with the gravity of the moment. To move forward is to embrace the unknown, guided by the wisdom gleaned, but open to whatever story will unfold. The descendant's voice is a gentle anchor. Trust your heart as the scribe did. The crossing is not a barrier, but a bridge. Breathing deeply, you set the hourglass back and choose your path, not just with your feet, but with your spirit. The forest shifts with your decision, the canopy glowing softly, the air humming with the endless dance of moments falling and rising like the ever-falling leaves. You step forward, crossing not just the forest but the currents of time itself, ready to carry the legacy into tomorrow. As you step boldly forward beyond the crossroads of time, the forest around you breathes a sigh of welcome. The air shimmers with the warmth of early spring budding leaves unfurl on ancient branches, and a gentle breeze carries the delicate scent of blossoms yet to bloom. This part of the forest feels alive with promise, as though the secrets you seek are about to awaken from a long slumber. Ahead lies a secluded glade bathed in dappled sunlight, where a single, extraordinary tree stands. Its trunk is slender but sturdy, its bark a deep mossy green hurtling toward gold as young leaves found new life. What catches your eye immediately is the tree's crown, a dazzling burst of blossoms, petals glowing with iridescent colors that shift from soft pink to brilliant gold as they move in the breeze. The descendant steps beside you, her voice hushed with reverence. "This is the blossoming secret," she says, "a symbol of hope and renewal hidden within the forest's heart. The scribe's legacy lives in this tree, its magic ready to be reborn." You reach out tentatively to touch the petals, and a wave of warmth spreads through your fingertips, blooming up your arm and filling you with a sense of deep peace and strength. The blossoms whisper secrets in a language of light and color, their radiant energy weaving an invisible thread connecting past, present, and future. The diary and manuscript in your pack vibrates softly in response, as if recognizing the significance of this moment. The scribe's stories, once written in ink and leaf, now pulse with living magic that you can feel within your own heart. The descendant smiles gently. The tree reminds us that even in darkness or loss, life finds a way to bloom anew. This magic is fragile but fiercely resilient, and it is yours to protect and nurture. You feel the forest's pulse quicken, leaves above twinkling with renewed vitality as the blossoming secret bathes the glade in glowing light. Here, beneath the rising canopy, your journey's meaning deepens a promise, not just to witness stories, but to live and grow with them, with a heart full of newfound hope. You prepare to walk forward bearing the scribe's legacy within you, as ever-changing and enduring as the blossoming tree itself. The day fades rapidly, surrendering to the hush of twilight as the forest prepares for the arrival of night. Above, a silvery moon begins its descent, glowing strangely larger and fuller than you've ever seen. Falling moon, glowing softly with an ethereal light that casts shimmering shadows across the leafy canopy. The air chilled slightly, carrying a scent of distant rain mingled with the rich earthiness of moss and bark. There is a poignant stillness, as if the world itself is holding its breath, waiting for something profound to occur beneath this moon's gentle glow. You and the descendant pause in a small clearing. Her eyes reflect the moonlight, deep pools of ancient understanding. "The falling moon is rare, bringing with it power and peril intertwined," she murmurs. "It opens the boundaries between worlds, bending time and revealing truths hidden in shadow." You look up as the moon seems to drift lower, its silver light flowing over the land in shimmering waves. As the forest is bathed in this unearthly glow, whispers drift on the breezed voices ancient and fleeting, intertwined with the rustle of leaves. The diary's pages flutter, the ink shimmering with silver outlines, revealing mysterious passages only visible under the moon's light. A soft breeze unsettles the falling leaves, setting them into a slow dance that spirals toward the earth. In the glow of the moon, the leaves seem to carry stories not just from the forest, but from realms beyond each, one a fragment of forgotten magic and whispered destiny. The descendant turns to you with a solemn expression. "Tonight, we are invited to listen to what the moon reveals, to embrace the delicate balance between shadow and light, reality and dream. The magic stirred now will echo through the seasons." You close your eyes, breathing deeply as time seems to fold around you, the forest's pulse slowing to match the moon's descent. Images float behind your lids, visions of the scribe, writing furiously beneath a waning light. Promises made and futures unwritten. As the moon finally rests low in the sky, the first drops of rain begin to fall soft, rhythmic, washing the world anew. The forest drinks deeply, and you feel the power of the falling moon seep into your bones, a baptism of possibility. With the descendant beside you, the night promises not an end but a beginning, a chance to walk between worlds, guided by the silver glow beneath the falling moon. The moon's silver light gradually fades, as the first whispers of dawn brush the horizon with soft hues of pink and lavender. The forest around you awakens slowly, its heartbeat steady yet infused with the lingering magic stirred by the fallen moon. The dusk's enchantment now settles into a quiet anticipation, wrapping you and the descendant in a cloak woven of shadow and promise. You follow a winding path that leads to a secluded part of the forest, known in whispered lore as the Silent Grove. Here the air is thick with stillness, so profound that even the usual chorus of birdsong and rustling leaves seems to have hushed itself in respect. The towering trees strain upward like ancient sentinels, their branches interlocking to form a natural vault that filters out all but the faintest strips of light. At the heart of the grove lies a pool of water, its surface perfectly still and reflective like a polished mirror. The water does not ripple with even the softest breeze. Instead, it holds the silence of centuries, a lake of memories and secrets resting beneath an unbroken calm. You kneel at the pool's edge, the inkless page and diary resting safely beside you. Gazing into the depths, you feel as if the forest is inviting you to peer into the unknown, to listen to waters that remember stories long past and futures yet to be dreamed. The descendant joins you, her voice barely more than a breath. The Silent Grove is a place where the forest's deepest mysteries remain undisturbed, not because they are gone, but because they wait for those patient enough to perceive the unseen. She dips her fingers into the water, causing no ripple, but the pool's surface begins to glow softly with shifting scenes, images flickering like candlelight, glimpses of the scribe's hands tracing ancient words, fallen leaves circling in a spiraling dance, and the intertwining paths of those who have come before. You must look beyond what is visible, she continues, to understand the forest's heart. The silent waters hold reflections of truth, both light and shadow. As you reach out to touch the pool, the surface cools your hand and suddenly ripples, sending concentric circles across the shimmering mirror. Within the undulations, the scenes deepen and clarify visions of choices made and paths diverged, promises kept and secrets guarded. You realize this grove is more than a resting place. It is a sanctuary for knowledge that cannot be found in ink or leaf alone. It is a reminder that silence, too, holds power, that listening without words reveals stories inscribed on the soul of the forest. Rising, you feel the forest's breath mingle with your own, steady, timeless, and patient. The Silent Grove has welcomed you as part of its ancient tale, nurturing your spirit for the chapters yet to be written beneath the endless canopy. The morning mist hangs heavy in the air as you step beyond the Silent Grove, the soft tendrils weaving through trees and brambles like a delicate veil draped over the forest's ancient heart. The world around you is transformed, the sharp edges of reality softened under the cloak of mist, every sound muffled into whispers, every line blurred like a dream teetering between memory and vision. The descendant moves ahead with quiet surety, her silhouette a beacon against the swirling fog. The veil of mist is a passage between what has been and what might be, she intones, her voice barely audible above the gentle susurrus. It is a threshold, both veil and invitation, where truths are revealed not in clarity but in shadow and suggestion. You followed the winding path, the air cool and damp against your skin, the forest alive with the scent of wet leaves and earth. Your steps leave soft impressions on the moss-covered ground, the distant calls of hidden birds echoing faintly through the haze. The diary and the glowing manuscripts pressed lightly against your side, their magic resonating with the ethereal atmosphere. As you walk, the mist thickens, wrapping around you like a shroud, blurring the boundary between self and forest. Shapes flicker in the periphery, phantoms of leaves, glimmers of light, echoes of footsteps not your own, inviting you to look deeper, to listen harder. Suddenly, the path opens into a clearing where the mist parts like a curtain, revealing a solitary tree draped in shimmering droplets that catch the light like diamonds. Its branches sway with a grace both somber and serene, a silent sentinel amid the swirling veils. The descendant steps beside you, eyes reflecting the liquid silver of the branches. "This is the heartwood tree," she whispers. "At its roots lie answers and questions entwined. Here, beneath the veil, the scribe's deepest mysteries await those who dare to seek them beyond appearance." Kneeling at the tree's base, you you feel the pulse of magic thrumming beneath the soil, a heartbeat steady and strong despite the mist's soft shroud. The diary's pages flutter open, revealing passages illuminated by newfound light, a dance of words and symbols, echoing the sorrow and hope held within the silken fog. Trembling fingers, you trace the ancient runes carved into the bark, each line singing with a soft, otherworldly glow. The mist thickens momentarily, folding around you in a gentle embrace, and images bloom behind your eyes, fragments of the scribe's journey through light and shadow, choices made beneath falling leaves, and the intertwining destinies that shaped the forest's soul. As the veil begins to lift, the atmosphere shifts, the mist dissipating in an iridescent cascade, revealing a path lined with glowing petals that beckon you onward into the heart of the story yet to be written. Rising with a renewed spirit, you step forward beneath the rising sun, the descendant at your side, ready to weave shadows and light into the next unfolding chapter of the scribe's enduring legacy. The forest path winds gently upward as morning light spills through the thinning mist, casting golden rays that dance among the leaves. You move with purpose, the weight of the inkless page and diary pressed close, while the descendant walks silently beside you. The air is cooler now, tinged with a whisper of pine and earth, a promise of ancient wisdom waiting ahead. Ahead, nestled in a hollow beneath an ancient cedar, stands a figure clad in robes woven from threads of bark and ivy. The keeper, as the descendant gently explains, is a guardian of balance, wise beyond measure and patient as the forest itself. Their presence commands both reverence and comfort, a living reminder that the forest's secrets are tended by hands both steady and knowing. The keeper beckons you closer, their eyes reflecting the dappled light filtering through the canopy. To carry the scribe's legacy is to understand the delicate dance of shadow and light. They say softly, the forest does not yield its mysteries lightly. You must learn to listen not just with your ears, but with your heart and soul. Kneeling beside a small moss-covered altar, the keeper reveals an ancient bowl filled with water that gleams with subtle inner light. This pool reflects not only what is, but what might be. They explain, look deeply, and you will see the stories yet to be told, the voices waiting to be heard. You peer into the shimmering surface, your reflection flickering alongside images, both familiar and strange, faces of those who walked before. Landscapes shifting with the passage of seasons, leaves falling and rising with the rhythm of life itself. The visions deepen, revealing moments of courage, loss, and renewal, intertwined like threads in an endless tapestry. The keeper's voice falls to a whisper. Truth is rarely simple. It is a web of light and shadow, and your journey will lead you through both. To carry the scribe's story is to hold this balance with grace. You feel the weight of their words settle around you, a mantle of responsibility woven with hope and strength. The forest hums softly, a balm to your spirit, as the advocate gently places a hand over yours in reassurance. Rising, you feel renewed a readiness born of understanding and the profound connection to the living legacy you carry. With the keeper's lesson etched in your heart, you step forward beneath the canopy's embrace, ready to weave the next chapter of stories through shadow and light. As you leave the keeper's hollow, the forest around you seems to shift, light and shadow weaving in an intricate dance that mirrors the lesson you just embraced. The air grows cooler, tinged with the scent of damp cedar and wild orchids, while the canopy thickens overhead, filtering the sunlight into soft, emerald hues. Every step you take feels both grounded and charged, as if the very leaves whisper secrets meant only for your ears. Ahead, perched silently on a twisted branch, is the watcher, an enigmatic figure cloaked in garments that ripple like waves of leaves stirred by the wind. Their eyes gleam with ancient knowledge, and their presence commands a quiet authority, blending seamlessly with the forest's pulse. The descendant nods toward the watcher, her voice a blend of respect and anticipation. They are the guardian of the unseen paths, the eyes that watch over the forest's forgotten stories and hidden passages. To walk with the watcher is to learn the art of seeing beyond what is plainly visible. Approaching carefully, you feel the weight of unseen eyes, assessing but not judging your spirit. The watcher's gaze pierces through the veil of leaves and light and settles warmly on you. You carry the scribe's mark, the watcher murmurs, voice as soft and compelling as a rustling leaf. With it comes the gift and burden of insight. You must learn to trust what is hidden and whispering beneath the surface. The watcher extends a slender hand, revealing a delicate pendant carved from the heartwood of the sacred tree. its surface etched with swirling symbols that echo the language of falling leaves. "Take this," they say. "It will guide your sight and protect your spirit as you journey into the forest's most veiled mysteries." You accept the pendant, feeling a quiet pulse of power as it settles against your skin. The forest seems to breathe around you, the leaves overhead shimmering with newfound clarity. The watcher steps back into the shadows, their form dissolving like mist. But their presence lingers, an enduring reminder that not all truths are spoken, but many are seen by those who truly look. With the pendant warm against your heart and the scribe's legacy strong in your soul, you continue forward beneath the woven canopy, ready to uncover the hidden stories whispered through the watchful leaves. The forest around you grows quieter still, its shadows deepening as the sun begins to dip behind the trees, painting the sky with streaks of amber and violet. Each footfall is softened by thick moss, and the air carries the faint scent of rain on distant wind. The pendant from the watcher rests warm against your chest, a constant heartbeat tethered to your resolve. Ahead, the path winds downward into a hollow, embraced by towering trunks whose roots twist like ancient hands, clutching secrets buried in the earth. A gentle mist curls at the hollow's mouth, veiling the entrance in an ethereal haze that shimmers with muted light and lingering magic. The echoing hollow, the descendant whispers beside you, is a place where past voices linger, where the forest's memories thrum softly beneath the surface. To enter is to listen deeply, to hear the stories that time has not yet forgotten. You step cautiously into the hollow, every sense heightened by the cloak of silence that wraps around you. The mist swirls in your wake, and with each step, whispering echoes ripple through the air, soft overlapping voices that speak in the language of leaves and wind. As you follow the winding trail deeper, the echoes grow clearer, weaving a tapestry of sound that flows through the hollow like a living river of memory. You hear fragments of forgotten tales, the scribe's gentle incantations, the rustle of pages turned by unseen hands, the laughter and sorrow woven into the forest's timeless song. At the hollow's heart, you find a pool of crystal clear water, its surface perfectly still and reflecting the twilight sky. Kneeling beside it, you peer into the depths and see not just your own reflection, but images flickering beneath the surface, memories woven from the scribe's journey, the forest's soul, and your own unfolding story. The descendant's voice is close, tinged with awe. This is the forest's Mirara gateway to understanding. The echoes here are not just memories, but guides. To move forward, you must embrace their lessons and carry their light. Closing your eyes, you let the whispers wash over you, feeling their truths settle deep within. Your heart quickens as the pendant pulses warmly against your skin, linking your spirit to the hollow's ancient song. Rising with renewed clarity, you know that the echoing hollow has shared a gift, a deeper connection to the scribe's legacy, and a clearer path for the chapters yet to be lived beneath the falling leaves. The path from the echoing hollow unfolds beneath a canopy, now alive with a vibrant melody. Leaves sway gently, even without wind, their movements synchronized in a silent symphony, creating soft chimes that flutter through the air like a lullaby from the forest itself. The scent of blooming jasmine and fresh rain fills each breath, lifting your spirits with a gentle, persistent joy. The descendant walks beside you, her gaze alight with wonder. These are the singing branches, trees that carry the forest's voice, casting melodies into the air for those who seek its deeper truths. You reach out tentatively, fingers brushing a slender branch that vibrates softly under your touch. A song rises, resonating through your bones, an intricate weaving of notes that tell stories beyond words, stories that seem to transcend time itself. With each step, the melody grows richer, inviting you to listen not just with ears, but with your heart. The forest reveals itself anew as a living song, each leaf and twig contributing to an eternal chorus that echoes the scribe's legacy. The pendant from the watcher pulses gently, attuning you further to the song's cadence, helping you understand the language of the trees, a language as old as the forest, alive and ever-changing. The descendant smiles softly. To walk beneath the singing branches is to become part of the forest's music, a note in the grand symphony of life written beneath the falling leaves. Embracing the chorus, you step forward with renewed purpose, carrying the melody within your soul, ready to compose the next verse in the scribe's evolving story. The vibrant melody of the singing branches fades slowly behind you as the path narrows and descends into a realm where the forest takes on a sacred stillness. Moss-draped stones line the way, their surfaces etched with faint glowing sigils, and ethereal light filters softly through a dense canopy of intertwined branches above. A subtle energy hums in the air, filling every breath with the promise of ancient power long held secret. At the path's end, you find a massive heartwood tree towering and majestic, its bark thick and pulsing with an inner light, its roots trellised deep into the earth, weaving a natural chamber beneath that beckons you closer. The descendant places a solemn hand on the tree's trunk. This chamber holds the forest's essence, the very soul of the scribe's magic. Few have seen its wonders, and fewer still have touched its heart. Stepping into the chamber formed by the sprawling roots, you find yourself enveloped in a warm golden glow emanating from crystals embedded within the bark. The air is thick with the scent of rich earth and wildflowers, vibrant and serene. At the center lies a stone pedestal cradling an ancient artifact, a restored quill, its blackened feather now gleaming with fragments of moonlight and root essence. Your heart quickens as the descendant invites you to approach. This is the scribe's true legacy, a tool, not only for writing but for weaving life itself. The power to heal, to create, to bind stories across time. You reach out, fingertips brushing the quill's delicate shaft, feeling a surge of energy ripple through your being. The diary and glowing manuscript respond in kind, their pages fluttering as if in recognition, their ink alive with renewed brilliance. The chamber hums with the forest's heartbeat, and visions flood your mind, timeless cycles of growth and decay. Light dancing with shadow, the scribe's enduring spirit reconnecting with the living world through you. With steady breath, you lift the quill, its magic awakening beneath your touch. The journey you have traveled, the choices made, and the stories carried now converge, binding you irrevocably to the eternal dance beneath the falling leaves. Rising from the chamber, you carry the quill's light as a beacon, ready to write the next chapter, to shape the future, and to honor the scribe's timeless gift. With the restored quill glowing softly in your grasp, you leave the heartwood chamber and follow the winding forest path toward a distant murmur, the steady, gentle roar of the river of memory. The scent of rain-washed leaves mingles with fresh water, and the air cools as you descend into the river's valley. The forest's pulse seems to slow here, in reverence to the river's endless flow. The river itself is exquisite, its waters shimmering with hues of liquid silver and liquid gold, reflecting shifting images that ripple beneath the surface like fleeting memories. Your footsteps soften on the mossy bank, where the descendant waits, her gaze directed into the swirling depths. "This river," she says softly, "is a living archive. It carries the stories of the past, of all who have walked beneath these trees, and of the scribe whose legacy now rests with you. To step into its flow is to remember and become part of a greater whole." You kneel, reaching out to touch the surface. The water is cool and vibrant against your skin, and as your fingers skim the shimmering current, visions arise, echoes of the scribe's earliest moments, leaves tumbling like pages in the wind, the unbroken cycle of life and death, hope and loss. The quill responds, its ethereal glow intensifying, and the diary's pages flutter open, revealing memories long hidden in shadows, now illuminated by the river's light. You see hands tracing symbols in dukest leaves, feel whispers in the rustling boughs, and hear songs carried on the breeze. The descendant's voice drifts beside you. The river of memory reminds us that stories are never lost. They flow in us and through us, renewing, reshaping. To carry the legacy is to honor these currents, to add your voice to the endless song. You close your eyes, letting the river's rhythm mingle with your own heartbeat. The past and present converge, and with the quill poised in your hand, you feel the power to write, not just with ink, but with memory, with life. Rising, you step from the river's edge, renewed, ready to become a living vessel for the scribe's stories, flowing onward beneath the timeless canopy of falling leaves. The river of memory's shimmering flow fades softly behind you, as the forest around you grows richer, alive with the scent of damp soil and sprouting growth. The pendant from the watcher pulses gently at your side, echoing the steady heartbeat of the earth beneath your feet. The diary and restored quill rest in your hands, their presence a constant thread connecting past, present, and future. You follow a narrowing path, descending into a grove where the ground opens like a deep wound, revealing a network of roots and veins that pulse with the forest's lifeblood. This is the realm known as the veins of the earth, a hidden labyrinth of twisted roots and glowing fungi, where the scribe's magic flows most vividly through the land's ancient arteries. The descendant's voice holds a note of both reverence and caution. Here, beneath the surface, the very essence of the forest's power courses like blood. To walk these veins is to feel the pulse of life itself, to understand the fragility and strength bound in every root and stone. As you move carefully through the tangled pathways, the earth hums beneath you, a living pulse syncing with your own heartbeat. The glowing veins light your way, casting flickering shadows that intertwine with your thoughts and memories. You pause beside a massive root, its bark etched with a pattern familiar from the diary, a symbol of renewal woven through countless cycles of growth and decay. As your fingers brush the surface, warmth spreads up your arm, and visions bloom across your mind's eye. Sap rising in spring, leaves unfurling, seasons turning in endless dance. The landscape shifts around you, the roots transforming into veins of shimmering light that spiral upward, connecting with the stars peeking through the canopy above. The scribe's presence feels closer, timeless energy woven seamlessly into the veins of the earth and sky. With steady breath, you lift the restored quill and trace the symbol upon the root, sending a pulse of light traveling through the glowing network. The forest responds with a gentle tremor, leaves rustling softly like a sigh of gratitude. The descendant smiles, eyes bright with hope. You have tapped into the lifeblood of the legacy. To protect it is to be rooted in strength, and yet flexible as the branches, always growing, always changing. Rising from the veins of the earth, you step back onto the mossy path, your spirit anchored and ignited by the forest's eternal pulse. The journey continues, and with every heartbeat beneath the falling leaves, your story unfolds anew. As you leave the glowing depths of the veins of the earth, the forest gradually lifts its shroud of twilight, welcoming the first tender threads of dawn. Soft pink and amber hues spread across the canopy, filtering light that dances upon the dew-kissed leaves like liquid fire. The air is crisp and cool, carrying the gentle fragrance of wild herbs and fresh rain, an intoxicating blend that awakens both body and spirit. With the restored quill secure in your grasp and the diary warming your side, you follow a slender trail that coils through the trees, leading you to a place where the forest seems to breathe in harmony with the coming day. Here, the descendant halts and gestures to a delicate strand woven from morning light and tendrils of mist, luminous threads stretching through the air like a bridge connecting night and day. This, she whispers, is the thread of dawn, a living line of possibility spun at the cusp of all beginnings. It symbolizes the moment between choices, the fragile seam where past and future are woven into new light. You reach out tentatively, fingers grazing the glowing thread as it hums softly beneath your touch, resonating with the pulse of the forest and your own heart. Visions awaken behind your eyes, moments poised on the edge of change, the unfolding of untold stories, promises waiting to be written in the space between darkness and daybreak. The thread shimmers and shifts, weaving images of your journey, leaves falling and rising, shadows yielding to light, the quill tracing paths through the ever-turning seasons. The descendant's voice is a quiet anchor. To hold the thread of dawn is to embrace the power of beginnings, of hope woven through uncertainty. Your story is not fixed but ever unfolding, written anew with every step beneath the rising sun. You feel the weight of courage settle in your chest, intertwined with hope and resolve. Holding the thread, you step forward as light floods the forest, the canopy aglow with the warmth of awakening life. The day begins not as an end, but as an invitation to continue the eternal dance beneath the falling leaves, to write the next chapter in the scribe's unending tale. This chapter maintains the immersive, poetic style and fits within the requested word count. The light of dawn unfurls behind you as you journey deeper into the forest's embrace. Yet ahead, darkness gathers with a weight that pulls at the edges of the waking day. The branches of the trees seem to twist and turn, casting long, flickering shadows that crawl along the path like whispering specters. The forest's heartbeat quickens, a rhythmic thrum that speaks of unrest and veiled challenges. The descendant walks silently, her gaze steady and unyielding. The gathering of shadows is a time when the forest's hidden trials reveal themselves. She murmurs, "It is the moment when light and dark converge, an invitation to face fears, doubts, and secrets long buried beneath the soil of memory." You clutch the restored quill tightly, feeling its warmth pulsate like a beacon against the encroaching gloom. The diary presses against your side, a silent sentinel holding your place in the forest's timeless story. As the shadows deepen, ghostly forms emerge among the tree-shifting shapes woven from mist and memory, their eyes glinting with the wisdom and warning of ages. They move silently, circling around you like a protective ward, yet their presence bears the weight of challenges that test the heart and spirit. The descendant raises her voice, steady and clear. They are the guardians of shadows, keepers of the forest's balance, neither foe nor friend, but necessary guides. To pass their test, you must stand firm, embracing both the light you carry and the darkness you fear. You step forward into the ring of shadows, the quill in your hand glowing with steady light, a contrast to the swirling forms that beckon you to confront the deeper truths within. Whispers rise like the rustling of leaves in a storm, voices urging courage and trust. The forest holds its breath as you meet the shadow's gaze, heart open and unflinching. The light from the quill expands, illuminating the darkness with warmth and clarity, weaving strength from vulnerability, hope from uncertainty. The shadows shift, dissolving into shimmering motes of light that drift gently upward, blessing your passage and reaffirming your role as guardian and storyteller. The descendant's smile is quiet but radiant. You have embraced the gathering. The balance holds, and the story moves forward stronger for the darkness you have faced beneath the falling leaves. With resolve renewed, you continue onward through the forest's changing light, ready to carry the scribe's legacy into the chapters yet to be lived. The shadows of the gathering fade as the forest begins to shimmer with a faint silver glow. Moonlight filters through leaves, still wet from a recent rain, casting ethereal patterns that dance across the earth. The air is crisp, alive with the scent of rain earth and blooms yet unopened. Underfoot, the moss glows softly as if woven with veins of luminous silver, guiding each step deeper into a mysterious sanctuary. The descendant walks ahead, her trail marked by whispers and flickers of magic. "We enter the veins of silver," she says softly, "a place where the forest's power flows like liquid light, weaving through roots, stones, and streams alike. It is a realm of healing, transformation, and hidden truths." You feel the glow pulse faintly against your restored quill, as if awakened by the proximity to this sacred place. Every breath you take is laden with a subtle energy that tingles along your skin and hums beneath the layered sounds of the forest. The path opens onto a quiet clearing ringed by silver-leafed trees, their branches arched in delicate elegance. At the center lies a sky-blue springer pool of water, so clear and calm it mirrors the stars above, even in daylight. The descendant kneels beside the spring, dipping her fingers in, causing ripples that shimmer in waves of silver and blue. This spring is the heart of the vein source of the forest's renewal. It mirrors the soul, revealing what lies beneath the surface. You approach carefully, peering into the water's depths, and seeing reflections that ripple and shift, not just your own face but flashes of memory, emotion, and possibility. The diary in your pack stirs, pages glowing with new symbols that pulse in harmony with the spring's rhythm. Placing the restored quill beside the pool's edge, you feel your own heartbeat align with the vein's eternal flow, a sacred current that binds all life and story. Beneath the vast canopy, the descendant smiles, eyes bright with promise. To drink from the veins of silver is to embrace transformation, to let the old fall away so that new stories may bloom. You cup the cool water in your hands and drink, feeling its clarity fill your body and mind. Strength and peace settle deep within you, and you know the legacy you carry now pulses with renewed life and purpose. Rising, you gather the quill and diary, the magic still humming softly around you. The forest stretches onward, alive with infinite stories beneath the endless falling leaves. The glow from the covenant of leaves fades gently behind you, as the forest awakens to a fresh breeze, soft and carrying the breath of distant places. The air feels alive, threaded with whispers that swirl like delicate tendrils through the branches, weaving stories in a language only the heart can understand. You walk alongside the descendant, the restored quill and diary safe in your pack, feeling the pulse of the forest sync with your own steady heartbeat. The trees around you lean in slightly, as if to listen closer, their leaves stirring in harmonious murmurs carried on the whispering winds. "This is the time of the whispering winds," the descendant explains, "a season of change and revelation. The winds carry secrets from afar, weaving new stories into the fabric of the forest's legacy. You pause as a gentle gust brushes your face, bringing with it faint sense of blooming wildflowers and distant rain. The diary trembles softly, and when you open it, you find new passages glowing faintly upon the parchment words that seem to sing with the voice of the wind. A cluster of leaves spirals upward nearby, dancing in the breeze like a living chorus. In their swirling pattern, you glimpse fleeting images, faces, and places, moments woven with hope, sorrow, and triumph. The winds seem to carry reminders that stories are ever moving, shifting with the tides of time and heart. The descendant's voice is a soft song beneath the rustling leaves. To listen to the whispering winds is to embrace the ever-changing nature of the legacy we guard. It is a call to remain open, to let stories flow and grow, and to know that every breath we take carries a story worth telling. You breathe deeply, the winds sweeping through the forest, like a gentle invitation, an endless cycle of voices and memories. A dance between what was, what is, and what will be. With a renewed sense of wonder and purpose, you step forward beneath the shifting canopy, ready to let the whispering winds guide you deeper into the story beneath the falling leaves. The forest around you deepens into the soft light of dusk, the whispering winds now carrying shadows that twine and swirl like living threads between the branches. The air holds a cool tension, a delicate balance between fading light and creeping darkness, as if the very forest breathes a quiet, ancient rhythm of transformation. The descendant's gaze sharpens as she steps forward, her voice barely more than a breath. The dance of shadows is a sacred moment where light and dark meet and entwine. It is a trial and a blessing. To walk its path is to embrace the full breadth of the scribe's legacy. You watch as the shadows take form, figures woven from mist and moonlight, moving with grace and purpose, their movements a silent ballet against the dimming sky. They beckon you into the circle they create, a hidden clearing where the forest's heartbeat quickens. With steady breath, you step into the circle, feeling the pulsing energy wrap around you like a cloak woven from twilight. The restored quill in your hand gleams with a soft, steady light, a beacon amid shifting shapes. The shadows circle and dance, their movements whispering stories of loss and renewal, of courage tempered by vulnerability. Their voices rise in a silent chorus, echoing truths written in leaf and ink, in light and shade. The descendant's voice threads through the dance, a guiding melody. To endure the dance of shadows is to honor every part of the tale, the joys and sorrows, the bright triumphs and the hidden pain. It is to become whole. You raise the quill, tracing a slow arc through the air as light flows from its tip, weaving patterns that mingle with the shadow's dance. The forest around you seems to pulse in time with the rhythm, the boundary between light and darkness blurring into a harmonious whole. As the dance wanes, the shadows dissolve into sparkling motes that drift upward, merging with the stars beginning to pierce the night sky. The clearing glows softly, a sacred space renewed and whole. The descendant smiles gently, her eyes shining with pride and hope. The dance is more than a trial, it is a promise renewed. You carry the balance now, the legacy made stronger by your courage beneath the falling leaves. With the forest's eternal rhythm echoing in your heart, you step forward into the night, ready to carry the scribe's story into the chapters yet unwritten. The lantern of age's warm glow lingers as you step beyond the clearing, the forest around you shifting with the approaching dusk. The canopy weaves together in an intricate tapestry of shadows and muted light, blurring the lines between day and night. The air is cool and still, carrying the scent of damp earth and fading blossoms, a quiet invitation into the veil of twilight. The descendant walks steadily beside you, her voice a whispered thread beneath the rustling leaves. The veil of twilight is a passage between worlds, where the known fades and the unseen begins. It challenges those who traverse it to embrace uncertainty and trust the light within. You follow the winding path, illuminated only faintly by the lantern's steady flame. Shadows lengthen and dance along the forest floor, their delicate movements weaving patterns that seem alive, shifting with stories half remembered and dreams half lived. As you move deeper into the veil, the forest's heartbeat slows and the boundaries of reality soften. Shapes shift in the corner of your vision, figures made of mist and memory, faces both familiar and unknown. The diary in your pack trembles with quiet urgency, its pages alive with symbols that glow softly in the dim light. The descendant pauses at a fork in the path, her eyes twinkling with both caution and encouragement. Here, you choose not just a way forward, but a truth to follow. The veil tests the heart and mind, revealing what must be embraced and what must be let go. Taking a moment, you breathe deeply, feeling the lantern's glow steady within you, a beacon that cuts through shadow and doubt. With resolve, you choose your path, stepping confidently into the shimmering mists, ready to face whatever truths the twilight reveals. The forest folds around you like a living dream, the light and shadow dancing in harmony as your story continues beneath the falling leaves and endless twilight. Under the silver gaze of the twilight sky, you leave the sanctuary behind, the forest around you shimmering with a gentle luminescence. The air is cool, thick with the scent of night jasmine and fresh dew, while the obsidian leaf of vigilance rests like a steady pulse against your chest. The diary and restored quill remain close, their presence a beacon in the soft shadows. The descendant leads you along a narrow path that winds beneath arching branches, woven like a cathedral ceiling. Above, the moon's pale light trails through the leaves in delicate veins of silver, illuminating your way toward a hidden glade known as the Veins of the Moon. As you enter the clearing, a network of glowing roots and silvery tendrils stretches across the ground, pulsing gently in rhythm with the moon's steady breath. The scene is ethereal and ancient lifeblood, weaving through the earth beneath your feet and the canopy above. A living connection between sky and soil. The descendant's voice is hushed with reverence. The veins of the moon carry the forest's most sacred magic, sickles of reflection, renewal, and quiet strength. To walk here is to become part of the eternal dance between shadow and light. You kneel beside a shimmering pool where the moonlight pools like liquid glass. Gazing into its depths, you see visions ripple a tapestry of your journey, the scribe's legacy, and the forest's endless song. The diary's pages glow softly, revealing new symbols that pulse with the moon's gentle power. The restored quill vibrates warmly in your hand as you trace the patterns in the air, weaving light into the veins of the earth and sky. The forest responds with a soft choristered delicate rustle of leaves, the sigh of the night breeze, and the distant call of night creatures. The descendant smiles quietly. In this place, you are both witness and participant, the keeper of stories that bind past, present, and future beneath the falling leaves. With the moon's light guiding you, you rise and continue onward, your spirit alight with the quiet power of the veins of the moon, ready to carry the legacy into the chapters that await. The veins of the moon fade softly behind you, as the forest gradually awakens beneath the first blush of dawn. The silver light that once bathed the ancient roots now retreats, yielding to the golden hues of morning, spilling like liquid fire through the canopy. The air is crisp and alive with the scent of blooming leaves and rich earth, carrying the promise of endless possibility. The obsidian leaf of vigilance swings gently at your side, a steadfast companion in this final chapter of your journey. The diary and restored quill hum softly within your peck, a delicate, yet powerful reminder of the legacy etched into your very soul. You walk with the descendant through winding paths, gently illuminated by the rising sun, the forest around you glimmering with renewed life. Here, the air seems thicker with magic, a palpable current flowing beneath each footstep, weaving itself subtly through the rustling leaves and the morning chorus of songbirds. This is no ordinary forest, you realize, but a living story, a tale, written and rewritten by all who came before and all who will come after. The descendant's voice is quiet but full of profound warmth. We have reached the eternal beginning, she says, a place where the cycle of stories, life, and spirit converges, where every ending folds back into a new dawn. Here, the legacy you carry finds its fullest expression. Ahead lies a vast clearing, circular as the world itself, and encircled by towering, ancient trees whose branches weave together in an arching celestial dome. Rays of sunlight pour through the lattice, spotlighting a stunning sight, a crystal-clear pool resting at the heart of the glade, its surface perfectly still and gleaming like a mirror to the sky. Around its edges lie delicate petals, fallen leaves, and tiny embers of light swirling gently in the soft breeze. As you approach the pool, the forest seems to breathe in unison, the rustling of leaves, the gentle murmur of unseen waters, and the whisper of winds, all combining in a melody both timeless and new. The diary spontaneously opens in your hands, its pages glowing with brilliant clarity. Symbols and words, once indecipherable, dance with meaning now fully revealed. The restored quill tingles against your fingertips, alive with a magic that connects past, present, and future in an unbreakable thread. You kneel beside the pool and gaze deep into its reflective surface, where images begin to unfold, a tapestry embroidered with moments from your journey and those of countless others. You see the scribe's hand moving with dedication and passion, falling leaves tumbling gracefully through shifting seasons, faces filled with hope, struggle, and triumph. You are the storyteller, the guardian, the eternal witness. The forest's magic is alive in you. The inkless page waits still to be written, a promise that the future is yours to shape. You lift the restored quill and, with steady breath, trace a circle in the air above the pool. The space around you pulses with energy as light and shadow mingle in harmonious dance. The scene brightens and swirls until every leaf, every star above, every breath of wind becomes part of a vast narrative, one without beginning or end, only endless transformation. The forest sings its endless song in your soul, a melody woven of courage, love, and the wisdom of ages. Your footsteps echo softly as you rise, the glowing leaf settled in your heart a beacon, lighting your way beneath the ever-falling leaves. As you walk from the eternal beginning, the descendant's voice lingers like a stanza from a sacred poem. This is your story now, the story of a legacy reborn, of a life intertwined with the breath of the forest. Go forth as a light in the shadows, a voice for the silent leaves. Carry this story, gently and fiercely, into all the days to come. Beyond the clearing, the forest stretches endlessly, a living canvas awaiting the pen of your choices. The diary closes softly in your hands, the quill's light dimming to a steady glow, marking not an end, but the first step in an infinite journey. In this eternal beginning, you become the scribe, the author of all that has been, all that is, and all that will ever be beneath the boundless, whispering canopy of falling leaves.